One of Australia's biggest coal-fired power stations, the Liddell plant in New South Wales, is set to close this week. With regulated prices expected to soar almost 20% this winter, it's raising fears of more hikes. Further shutdowns of ageing power plants are looming, so the race is on to build clean energy infrastructure to keep the lights on. About two-thirds of power in the national electricity market comes from coal and gas. Almost a third comes from renewables and just 0.01% from battery storage. As business reporter Daniel Ziffer explains, the closure of Liddell has been a long time coming.
AGL announced this closure in 2015 and it's been coming ever since. There's also the looming closure of other similar power stations around the nation. Essentially, these are really large, in many cases 50-year-old machines, well beyond their lifespan. So we can expect them over time. Some of them have already set and projected shutdowns. Others will occur perhaps even earlier than those dates. When I spoke to Dr Mary Stewart of Energetics, she basically said that it would have no impact immediately, but if conditions change in the future, that's where we could see a bit of movement.
Because with Liddell leaving the system, we do have less resilience in that capacity. So if other things happen, so if there's a coal shortage, if other things happen through the grid, there's less resilience in the grid. So there's a minor chance of there being an impact on the spot market, but the futures market has already priced the closure in.
So will we make the switch to renewables fast enough to avoid any blackouts?
Hopefully, and maybe. I spoke to Sarah McNamara from the Australian Energy Council about this. She represents generators. Essentially, what's happening is a huge amount of investment going into renewables to make enough power so that when these coal power plants go offline, there's enough there. At the moment, those projects are continuing apace, but there are question marks over whether all of them are going to make it in time for the withdrawal of some of that power generating capacity from some of these big coal-fired plants. Here's Ms McNamara.
What we know from the market operators' analysis is that they are not anticipating any shortfalls in supply between now and around 2025, when Origin's Eraring plant is scheduled to close. That means, though, that we've got plenty of time to bring new supply online to cover for Eraring's departure from the grid. And we already have new supply that's come online since Liddell's announced departure. We've seen the Tallawarra and Kurri Kurri gas plants, the Waratah big battery, all in New South Wales. They're going to make a really significant difference and help support reliability of supply.
Dan, what's needed to make that transition?
Well, interestingly, after the kind of climate wars we've had the last 10 to 15 years, political will isn't one of the things. There's great desire to make this happen, but all the same constraints that are occurring with large infrastructure projects, people, money, capital, tools, are all colliding in the renewable space as well.
The other issues are access to capital. As we know, interest rates are going up and it's more expensive to build these projects now. The big issues are access to people. We have a skill shortage in the country and we really don't have the people that we need to develop these projects. And the other issue is access to equipment.
That was Dr Mary Stewart of Energetics. Rachel, as you can hear, plenty more to do in this space.
Daniel Ziffer, thank you.